Retirement's supposed to be an exciting time, right? Well, it can also be filled with a lot of questions, especially when it comes to your finances. Well, lucky for us, we have our friends at ProVise Management Group and Ray Ferrara, who is with us now. Ray, how are you today?
Good morning, Natalie. Nice to be with you. Thanks.
Nice to be with you as well. And I'm glad that we're going to talk about that retirement age, because it is something that people work their whole lives looking forward to for many. And then you start having the questions set in. So let's pretend that I am sitting in your office and you say you get a handful of questions that are pretty regular. So we're going to tackle some of these. So if I'm sitting there and the first question, people I'm assuming want to know, do I have enough money to retire? Where do we begin?
It's the biggest fear that anyone has. Do I have enough? Will I run out of money? And you certainly don't want to get well into retirement and suddenly have to move in with the kids. So the key to this is to think in terms of what are your income sources? How many of them are variable? How many of them are fixed? What are your expenses? What are the special things you may want to do in retirement that you weren't able to do when you were working? What do you have in the way of investments, savings, pension plans, if you have any? What's your Social Security going to be like? What are your goals? What are your objectives? And the best way to kind of get to all of that is to sit down, put it in one place, and then set up a retirement plan that projects out into the future. And it's a dynamic document. It's not something that you do just once. You have to keep it up and keep going with it as you go forward. But the plan is what you need.
Another big question that I'm assuming people will consider, and in my house, I actually recruited my retired parents to Florida. Some people, though, want to know, where will I live? Do you hear that in your office?
Sure, and there are very few of us who want to leave Florida to go someplace else.
True.
But there are reasons to do that, because perhaps you want to be closer to the children and really the grandchildren, not so much the children. Even if you stay here, are you going to stay in your current home? Are you going to downsize? Are you going to buy a second home? And as you think about that, what about the social circles that you're going to have, the friends that you might lose or gain depending upon where you go? What kind of medical facilities are available? What am I going to do for entertainment? And educational opportunities. And the special thing here in Florida that a lot of people don't know, if you're 65 or older, you can go to any university and audit any course for free.
I did not know that. That's a good information. It's also, I don't know, if good information that you think my parents came down for their grandchild, my daughter, and not me. I don't know what you're saying there, Ray. So many times, though, myself included, we're in this mindset of we get a paycheck every 2 weeks. And I think the majority of Americans look forward to that constant. That paycheck's going to go away when retirement comes. What do you tell people if that is a big fear, to know that money's not going to be coming in every 2 weeks?
Well, clearly you're not going to be getting a paycheck from your employer any longer, but there are plenty of ways that we can set up a cash flow that'll look just like a paycheck. It is disconcerting to all of a sudden say, well, how am I going to pay the bills? We need to look at when and how you're going to take Social Security. What other pensions do you have? What other retirement plans might be available, your savings and your investments. And kind of a rule of thumb that we like to use is you never want to spend more than 4% of the money that you have accumulated in any one given year. Kind of helps to allow for you to adjust for inflation as you go along, and also to not guarantee, but hopefully keep you from running out of money.
It seems like maybe one of the biggest expenses for people who retire, and therefore one of the biggest concerns, continuing that health coverage. As we close, we've got about 30 seconds left. What do you say when it comes to health coverage to make sure people are taken care of there?
So in the case of health insurance, if you're under 65, you got to be thinking about, can you do COBRA from where you were working? Do you need to go to one of the exchanges? If you are eligible for Social Security, don't forget you need to also think about getting a supplement. And it's not inexpensive. It can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000, depending on your income level, just for Medicare. Again, it's why you need a plan. You need to fill in all the blanks.
And that's where you come in, Ray. You can help with that plan, help answer those questions with the dynamic documents you were talking about. You help set people up with. And if you give them a call right now, you will get a 1-hour complimentary consultation plus 15% off that fee of developing the financial plan we just discussed. Ray, it's good seeing you. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks. See you soon.